You just move them. I was telling Andrew, whenever you come into town, we move 1,000,000 miles an hour.
It's so true. It really is. Like I don't intend for it. I really don't intend for it, but I schedule everything for this 4 days that I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we got to just bulk and do all this because we don't get to do it any other time now.
Yeah.
So it's good to see you, though. Got to
I know.
freaking pick up the couch and illegally move it from your place and your old place, I should say, to our place, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of pays, being us podcasters, illegally moving. We just had half the couch sticking out of Andy's Subaru because it wasn't going to fit.
Luckily, we just took back roads.
Yeah, back roads, drove by 2 different cops, and they knew what we were doing. They knew we were the Backpocket, 100%.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think we messaged you in February saying we're looking for another another couch because that yellow one is just, it's seen better days.
Yeah.
So we were like, what are your thoughts on completing the furniture set? And you're like, I'm moving out in August. You'll get it in August. And we've had a countdown since then. In our brains, ready to complete the furniture set. And now we get to stare at the floral chairs. Every single time our guests get to look at floral chairs, but now we get to.
Yeah, no, we're finally at peace, I think. We finally have this like a nice, organized, luscious feng shui
home
podcast
studio.
Yeah. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
So now we got to get into you a little bit.
2019 Backpocket Guest of the Year.
Congratulations. Unbelievable. Snaps for Dre.
Boom, 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 boom.
Snaps. Oh, my gosh. How do you feel?
I feel fantastic. Fabulous.
Well, that's good.
What's awesome is your mom also got an award at the live show. So your whole family's really reaping the benefits of the Backpocket community.
Really, yeah.
We tell the story all the time, but when you gave us these chairs and you messaged your mom saying, I sold the chairs, and she's like, you did what? You sold the chairs? Yeah, you sold them to these podcast guys. And she was a little irritated because it's a family heirloom, if you will. And then she watched us, and we gained a subscriber, and she's like, all right, I like these guys. And then we got to meet her 5-6 months later at the live show, and we handed her, unknowingly, her favorite flowers, mums. So we're on to something here.
Yeah.
She loves those mums.
It's amazing. So moving to Colorado now.
Yep.
What's the story behind that?
Well, I've always wanted to move to Colorado since I was like 12.
It's a great state.
I know. You're homegrown.
I know, right?
Born and raised.
Of course. But anyways, you were saying.
Yeah, so always wanted to move out there ever since I went out there when I was 12. And I've always told everyone I'm moving out west, once I graduate undergrad. And I really wanted to, unfortunately, they don't have a chiropractic school out there. So I was like, okay, I'll go to school here. Then I'll move on out there. So yeah, I shadowed a bunch of clinics in June for like a week. It's kind of overwhelming. The corona kind of slowed down that process, so I really had to like whoop that all together, which was kind of stressful.
What do you mean by whooping? Like, did you have to just bulk everything into a week?
Like you.
Yeah, bulked. Yeah, bulking season. Always.
Yep. So, yeah, I shadowed 6 different clinics. I had like 11 I was looking at, and I just was like, I really need to just minimize this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But from the get-go, and so in April, actually, I heard from this clinic that's in like the Highlands area of Denver. It's called WellSet, and they really capitalize on everything I want to do. They focus on prenatal, postnatal, pediatrics, and sports injuries, which is really what I want to focus on. Originally, when I came into chiropractic school, I wanted to do just sports chiropractic, and then my friends started having babies, and the team Oiselle I run for, they're really into women and women's health, and a girl on the team, or like, there's actually been like 4 different women on the elite team with me that are, since the trials, are pregnant. And I'm just like, I feel like this is my calling to help women, postpartum, prenatal, just kind of like, they're endurance athletes, and just kind of like fill in that gap and help them, have strong pregnancies before and after. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd been talking to that clinic all summer, and in the back of my head, I was like, I know I'm gonna go with them. I love the people that work there. They're amazing. They've just got great vibes, just awesome humans, and it was like they really wanted me to be there. The moment I stepped into the building, the whole shadowing process, and then they have a patio in the back and a kitchen, and it's just very open and just very like me, hipster, holistic, but yet like doctory. I don't know how to describe it, but it's in an awesome part of Denver. I really like the demographic they reach out to, and I hopefully fit right in.
You'll fit right in.
The
100%.
female doctor, her name is Haley Nick. She was the one that just kind of like recruited me on, and hung out with her, met her for the first time in Denver. Before that, we had just been communicating via text message, and I was like, man, I hope this girl is as awesome as she is, like, virtually as she is in person. And the moment I met her, it was like we were best friends for like 10 years. I tell my mom, I'm like, she's like the CrossFit version of me. She's just like badass and just awesome.
Stacked.
So, yeah, and my doctor that will be like my preceptor doc, he's awesome. He played hockey back in the day, and he treats he treated some Denver Broncos in the past. I'm not sure if he currently treats them, but he's really into treating babies and kids and pregnant moms, and so and sports injuries. So
Right on. So you're done with school.
done with school.
Done with school. Now get to practice every single thing you've been studying.
Yes.
And dive into it. That's got to be exciting.
Don't have to study.
Yes.
That is the main thing.
Mhm.
I'm so burnt out. If I have to open up another stupid, I don't read books, but like it's like if I have to look at another PowerPoint and scroll on my iPad, I think my eyes are just gonna fall out. So I finished up my final elective class this morning. Actually, I got done with my 14-miler, and my friend's like, way to skip class. And I'm like, oh crap. I was like supposed to start at 8, and it was like 8:20. I roll in, I'm like, oh hello. And so I'm just like on camera, like crop top and all. I got my
Making a
my
breakfast, some smoothie. Yeah.
and I was like, hey, I'm packing for this bachelorette party. And we had to go through this case study. And like my professor, like Dr. Sundin, is like, all right, Dre, you better get this right, or else I'm going to come over there and knock on your door and throw your bag across the room. And I'm like, all right.
Sorry.
No, it's great. But and I got I'm Colorado bound. I got all my clinic requirements like approved as of like Wednesday. So
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
just got to pack, which really haven't. So don't tell my mom.
Leaving
No.
5 days from now, 6 days from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bachelorette party, come back Sunday, a little hungover.
Mm-hmm. Throw some things in the car and off to Denver.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Just go.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
I feel like I'm going to be throwing out a lot of things at my house, and my mom is going to kill me. Her storage room is just going to be exploding, but
Is she a hoarder?
yes. Well, oh, wow. She
You're
she has gotten better like throughout the years. The
Mhm.
COVID really helped her anti-hoard.
Okay.
She really, really, really killed those storage closets over the COVID break.
Mm-hmm.
Her
What do
bi-
you mean? Like just got rid of them all?
Yeah,
and shit?
just and
Okay.
organized the hell out of them. Like it was like, are you Dana Toppin or who are you? So that was pretty awesome. I felt like I kind of became a hoarder because of her, but
That's
I don't
good.
know. We're not hoarders. We just like to hang on to things. You know?
Yeah,
They're
no, I
special.
gotcha. Hey, Marcus, I got something for you. If you want to just hit Windows P and go and then change it to extend, that way you can look at the OBS stream and not have to worry about us. Yeah, hit that extend button. Bang. There you go, buddy. Cool. So yeah,
Dang.
anytime we're like, hey, Marcus, pull that up, and then you can just drag it onto our screen. I just don't. It's probably to the left or the right, but anyways. So what is it? How does like the care of a pregnant woman before and after she has her baby, kind of factor into what you're trying to do and provide? Like, what are the pain points? What kind of happens?
So basically, I've only taken like 2 courses on it.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Webster technique this past February, and then I did adjusting for infants and kids in January. Basically, it's just balancing out the mom's pelvis.
Right.
What we do, the Webster technique. but I want to get my full certification in like my ICPA and pediatrics and pregnancy and whatnot. But it's just keeping her sympathetic nervous system just like pretty mellow, because when you're pregnant, obviously the stress hormones and everything is just all the hormones, everything is just out of whack, just going crazy, because their pelvis, their body is holding a baby, another human life.
Right.
So if mom is mellow, then the baby is mellow. If mom's high tense, high strong, then the baby's going to be all over. So I'm just kind of keeping her calm and just intact with herself and the baby. And
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy. And in your practice will be working specifically with athletes that are, is it everybody?
It's everybody, but I think it keys more onto like the active lifestyle demographic. Like,
Okay.
It's a mixture of athletes, the weekend warriors, people who just like to live an active, healthy lifestyle. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what I'm going for. Again, when I first went into chiropractic school, I was like, I just want to treat elite runners, pro runners, My brother was like, I want to treat the NBA, the Portland Trailblazers. Super random, but yeah. And then I just kind of learned that it's more of a, I don't know, it's more of a chore than it is. Like, you don't really, certain chiropractors, yeah, they do get paid well, but like, I just feel like there's not as many like benefits. You're more there as like, I don't know, they don't really treat you with as much respect as you are worth, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You're more of like a Band-Aid almost.
Yeah, and you're just, I don't know, you're working like around the clock whenever they need you. And I want a life outside of my career. Like, I just feel like my life is more important than my career.
Mhm.
So,
And you get to make an impact for someone's life that might be struggling and
Yeah.
don't have necessarily these thousands of resources that a
Yeah.
pro athlete does have.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I think what you're doing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's cool that you're still have an opportunity to work with, athletes, but more so people that are just trying their best to stay active.
Yep.
I think it's I think you're doing I think it's a better route.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. So wait, you can do like cracking backs and necks with babies too? Did you say
It's
something about
different. So
that? How does that work?
It's more of like just kind of like tender touch. So it's just like more of a, I have the term in my head, but I can't spit it out. So it's more of like a firm but like tender touch. So it's just kind of like feeling where they are, like you'll just feel a spot that's just really tense, and you just like calm it down with your fingertip.
Oh, okay.
And just like seeing how their body and like where it's moving,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a little fussy, and just like, so if they're constipated, obviously you want to like really focus on the sacrum, or if they're having like diarrhea, gastrointestinal problems, like you want to focus on the low back and the sacrum. And then, yeah, with like the neck, I know everyone's like, are you snapping their necks? It's like, no.
That's a great question.
Like, it's just very light touch.
Okay.
I don't believe you can really like adjust a kid until they're at least like the normal way we do. Again, you have to be super light and gentle until like even like 7 years old,
Yeah.
to be honest. 3, 4, you can put them like in side posture like we do, like kind of want to like curly up, and if you've been put in side posture,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just kind of like when they curly up into a pretzel. Yeah, you can do a little bit of it, but again, you have to be super gentle.
Right.
So
That is
sometimes
so
we'll put the
interesting.
kids like on like if they can't really focus, we'll put them on mom, or like we'll pretend like we're tickling them or something, or like just like play like rocket ship, and then like that's how we'll get their mid back thoracics, like lift them up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kids can be a little bit more difficult, so not a huge kid person, but I really want to like dive into that and challenge myself a little bit on that with my next internship. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Sweet. Kids are weird, man.
Yeah. They got
Kids
a
are
mind
weird.
of their own.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's above my pay grade. But I want to talk to you about early February when you were about to run the Olympic trials in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of our last podcast in 2019. It was like, I don't remember the exact time frame, but it was beginning of the year.
Yep.
It was around March, April, I think.
March,
when
April.
We talked to you.
Yep. And you were kind of lining up the rest of your year to then, like, in preparation for the 2020 Olympic trials.
Yep.
So how's that whole process been? And now that it's over, let's just like walk through that journey.
Should I just like start from basically our last podcast?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yes.
think that's a good idea.
Did you just ask that and I just re-asked it?
No.
You could have gone anywhere. I like to start from the beginning.
I woke up at 5:15 a.m. this morning. Did not sleep that much, so I'm a little like.
And you went and ran, right?
Yeah, I ran 14 miles.
That's insane.
Declan ran 14 miles the other day, and he's limping now.
so proud of you.
Thank you.
I thought of that on my run. Like, I wanted to, like, I'm like, man, I didn't have my phone with me, but I was like, man, I just wish I could just call my brother right now. He could just pick me up at, like, mile 10 to 12. I was like, you know what, this week is already crap with my mileage. Screw it. And then I was like, you know what? Declan just randomly ran 14 miles. If he can do it, I can do it.
Thank you. And my motivation came from Mark Dowdle, who he posted a story of someone with their it was just like someone's Apple Watch and it said 14 miles on it, and someone tagged on like had previously only ever ran 7.
Yeah.
And Mark and he or she tagged Mark, and Mark reposted on his story, and I saw that and I was like, dang, that's exactly where I'm at. I've only ever ran 7 miles in my life. I might as well try and just run 14.
Yeah.
And it was literally just a matter of like saying it and then doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It gave me so much more respect for what you do. Put it
Yeah.
that way. Running is so hard.
It is. I feel like it's harder now for me. I don't know why. I think it's COVID has kind of messed with it, and I just think I'm really, really done with chiro school, and I think just running as intensely as I've have for the past like 2 years with chiro school, it's just like my body just can't handle it. My mind can't really handle it anymore. I'm still going to do it, but I'll get to that. So rewind back to March 2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did February? We did our podcast.
Yep.
I did like the 15K, US 15K champs, and that actually went well. I beat a lot of people that I wasn't supposed to beat at all. I think I got like 15th or 16th, something like that. But for me, I mean, like, I was expecting like 30th, so I'll take it.
That's sick.
I was a lot more fit than I thought I was, and at that point, it was like I just was running off of the love of running, and I was really excited about my Olympic trials qualifier, so I was in a good part of life. I mean, I was super stressed for Part 1 boards and T5, trimester 5. There's 10 trimesters in the school, and that's one of the hardest, so it was just like I was balancing that stress, and then I was also like I went through a really toxic breakup at that point too, and I just look back at myself then and I'm like, wow, I was just really proud of myself. Like I don't know, I wish I could be like that now, and maybe I am and I just don't see it, but anyways.
You're a different version now. You're building
Yeah,
you're building off
I'm
that.
growing. So and then we went into May, had a race, the US 25K champs. That went all right. I wanted top 10. I think I got 14th, which again, top 15, you can't complain. And then I kind of went through a burnout, like a mini burnout phase. And my coach at the time just kind of like, he was like, all right, we'll give you a super down week. And then I did this 5K, I PR'd. And that was pretty awesome. It was like in the pouring rain.
What's your PR 5K?
It's not that fast, but it's like 1650.
That's hauling, dude.
Yeah, you're
Come on.
hauling, yeah.
that's cooking.
For like, I don't know. I don't know what I want my 5. I'm not like super fast on the track. I want to try a 10K on the track and just see what I could run. I really feel like I could run like 33:30. I told my coach, I was like, all right, I think I just need something to train for this year. So I'm just going to try my best to try to get the Olympic trials qualifier for the 10K.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. At the end of the day, if I ran like 33 flat, the qualifier is 32:25, which is insane. If I ran like 33 flat, that's a win for me. I'll just take that. Like,
Yeah,
that'd
for
be
sure.
amazing. Anyways, back to 2019. I go on all these tangents all the time.
That's what a podcast is for.
I
Yeah.
get it from my mother, Dana Toppin.
Your episode, by the way, from last year is episode 148. So if you're listening to this for the first time and you're like, wow, Andrew's dope, go back to the first episode after this podcast,
Yeah.
episode 148.
Yeah. 148.
Now we're on 200, and I think it'll be 243 or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
270 something.
Holy smokes.
Maybe 80.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. It
we-
was 248. Just 100 episodes later.
Yeah.
Well, we passed that, I think, already, unfortunately.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm off on. Yeah, we've done too many of these now.
Yeah, we released 275, like, just recently
Oh, that's right.
with Mazid. But anyways, so
Indeed.
2019.
2019. Then we went to Grandma's Half, which that was, I
Mm.
think, a really big breakthrough half marathon.
That's
for
in
me.
Duluth, right?
Yeah. I was just in Duluth last weekend, all up north. I went up with my mom. We cruised along the coast up the North Shore up to Grand Marais. Ran into Brant and Josh. Brant moved yesterday back to good old Canada. So
He did. Oh, wow.
I know. So I said my sweet goodbye, and then I'm probably gonna go say goodbye to Josh in a bit. He's staying here.
He's working with Center of Movement.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Sick.
Dr. Good old Matt Weist.
That's right.
Yeah, and then
So the grandmas went. How did the grandmas go?
really good.
Okay.
I got 10th.
Wow.
I PR'd by almost 5 minutes in the half itself. So that was really awesome. And
5 minutes better than what you were before.
but here is what I'm really proud of. That week, I averaged like 5 hours of sleep because we had 7 midterms in 5 days. And I was like all over 7 to 8, something like that. But it felt like a million. And I was all over the place. And I was like, this race is going to be a damn disaster. Good old Carly Nye, she drove me up to Duluth. And yeah, it was just awesome. I think that night, the night before the race, I just like passed out, got my first 8 hours of sleep, and I was like, that doesn't even matter. I woke up and it was just like I wasn't even nervous. It was just like I was so stressed and tense that whole week. It was like this race was like an outlet. Like I was just like, this is great. This is a celebration. And I went out and I thought I was like in 20th the whole time. I went out with the lead pack, but for some reason I thought I was in 20th. And then I was on like mile 9. And my mom goes, you're 10th. And I'm like, what? Literally looked at her. Carly has a video. Literally looked at her and was like, what? Like, I don't know. And then yeah, a bunch of people that was just an awesome weekend. I got to see a bunch of friends I don't normally get to see. And I think I stayed out till 3 a.m. partying that night. It's great.
You earned it.
Yeah,
Earned,
absolutely.
never
Earned it.
given.
But then after that, I just kind of went through a burnout phase. After that, I took a 2-week break, and I came back, and both of my Achilles were not doing well. And I was like, what's going on? I had a little bit of bilateral Achilles tendinitis. And it was like I'd have good days and bad days. I kind of trained through it. It was pretty safe. I was seeing, different chiropractors for it. And I realized I was like, I just need to sleep more. Need to pound the protein, just get better all-around nutrition, eat my greens. Started doing that during August when we had like our 3-4 week break between trimesters of chiropractic school. Achilles pain went away. I had a race over Labor Day or something like that. The US 20K champs. It did okay. It wasn't my best. It was really humid. It was in New Haven, Connecticut. I think I got 19th. I thought I was like 30th, so that was good. I asked my coach, I was like, what was I? He's like, I think you got 19th. And then I asked this other official I rode back to the airport with, and he's like, yeah, you for sure got 19th. I was like, oh, good. I don't know. It wasn't the best. And then in October, I ran the US 10-mile championships here, and wasn't good. I mean, I PR'd by like over a minute, but like it just place-wise, I don't even know what I was. I was in the 30s, and it was just, but mid-race, like mile 5, so halfway through when you start to hit like Summit and that St. Thomas Hill.
Yeah.
I hate that hill.
Straight up. It's
Even on
literally
my
straight
regular
up.
runs, I'm like, yeah, I felt my hamstring just kind of contracting, and then my foot and my flat in my racing shoes was just like slanted over, like like everted really bad, or inverted, and I was running on it really weird, and then it really effed up my right Achilles. My left Achilles was fine, and then after that race, like I think I did a 22 miler that next Friday. I did like a 4-mile tempo, and it was just terrible. I did hills, and it was just awful. And then I did a 22 miler that weekend, and it held up pretty well. But then after that, like the Monday after that, it was just like pulsating on my run. I was like, yeah, I don't know. So I just kind of took it day by day. My mileage was super low. I went from like 90 to like 40, which again, 40 sounds like a lot, but for, you know, you're used to like 70 to 90 miles an hour, or miles a week. It's just like, yeah. So, and then I finally, I don't know, every workout I tried to do, it was just super painful. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. And it kind of sucked because I had a California marathon, the one that I qualified for the trials at in 2018. I was going to run that in 2019 and get the A standard for the trials.
What does A standard mean?
So there's a B standard, Olympic A standard, and Olympic B standard. I have the B standard, which is 2:45 flat and under. My time is 2:42.12.
So 2 hours 45 minutes for a marathon.
Yep. And I was 2 hours 42.
I ran a half in 2.5 hours. A half marathon, 2.5. Like, that's nuts.
I'm sure you could improve it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was definitely dehydrated and
Yeah.
had 4 hours of sleep in the tank.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
It's all right. Eddie, I had a lot of things going against me, but
Yeah,
so 2:45 is the B standard.
B standard.
Okay, what's the A standard?
2:37 flat. I think they're going to change both of those for the 2024 Olympic trials, just because there was 511 women that qualified, and in 2016 it was like 250. 460 women actually raced. Like, I think either a lot dropped, some women got pregnant, or injuries, whatnot. Things come up. But yeah, so I was just kind of like, crap, this is happening in an awful time. So I dropped the rest of my season. I had like a Monterey Bay half in California that I was super stoked about. Yeah, I dropped that like the week of it. I just called the elite director. I was like, I can't do it. She's a PT, so she gets it. And then, yeah, I emailed CIM, the California Marathon. I was like, hey, I won't be there, but I went out there anyways. I kind of helped cheer on the Wazelle women, and one of my best friends on the team was racing. So she dropped, unfortunately. She had a glute injury, but she just didn't want to, or she had a glute problem. She just didn't want to have an injury going into the trials. So
yeah.
But my brother raced it, and he did really well. He ran 2:32, which I think that was his goal. So that was awesome, just cheering him on and being there. And I needed a break from school and life. So yeah, and then I basically trained for the Olympic trials in like 2 months, and my Achilles was super just not happy whenever I do like certain workouts, speed workouts, obviously. But I tried to keep, I don't think my Achilles was like 100% until literally the week of the trials.
Wow.
It's like good. The trials. So I was a little nervous heading into the trials because I was averaging probably like 60 miles a week, and my longest long run, I did it pretty slow, and it was like 22 miles. And I didn't do a lot of like 20 milers. Like, I just did like 2 20 plus milers, and the rest were like probably 14. Also got my wisdom teeth out in December. Jeez. So then I had to take more time off for running. That was really fun.
Oh my gosh.
And it just screws up the whole physiology of like your body.
Yep.
And so, yeah. And my mom was like, don't start running too fast. I don't want you to get like a clot or like an infection. And I'm like, ugh. So I just binged Stranger Things for like 8 days. I was super behind.
Resting up. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want a Normatec. Do you know what a Normatec is? It's like those big kind of like space.
Oh, the boots?
Yeah, boots.
The ones that have that run all the ice and stuff through it?
That is a game ready.
Oh.
But it's like, so they have them for the arms, the hips.
Wait, what's it called?
Normatec.
Hey, Marcus, can you pull that up?
Normatec Recovery.
And their air compression.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
I've seen
and it
Andy.
works through each part of the body, or
Okay.
each part of like the section of like the leg or arm. Yeah. And
It's called Normatec, right? Yeah.
so I
I
just
think I don't think the N on my computer works, so good luck.
That's so strange.
It's so ridiculous, dude. But that's sick. So
Yeah.
that really like helps with recovery then,
Yep.
I'd imagine.
so
Got
I
it.
just sat in my Normatec boots and watched Stranger Things
That's
and
amazing.
or other things. So
Mhm.
Dang.
yeah.
So what's like the preparation then for like Olympic trials in Atlanta in February 2020 was a marathon, right?
Yep.
So when you're training for like the fastest you ever want to run in a marathon, how do you like what kind of miles do you ever run the full marathon or more than the marathon?
Yeah.
You
So I haven't. So my actual preparation for the qualifier, where I qualified in California, I think the longest I ran was 22. I was supposed to do like a 24 miler, but I didn't get to it. But I was super fit. It was super, I had no injuries, super consistent training. I had awesome workouts. And my coach at the time, Tyler, was like, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. You'll get to that point and like you'll be good. Your endurance will carry you. So yeah, I had no problems going from 22 to 26.2 in that race. But yeah, usually like on the Minnesota Distance Elite, the team that I have trained with, a lot of the girls did like 27 miles, or like they did like 2 weeks of 25, and then I don't know. I think a couple girls did like maybe 2 weeks of 27, but yes, those.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep
Whoa.
the arm ones, they just like kill me.
Dude, give me a full suit of that.
Yeah.
Just recovering the next day.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that'd be so funny.
Yeah.
So they blow a bunch of air in there, huh?
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and then it like massages certain part or like compresses certain parts, like focuses on the calves, and then it tightens your calves for like
Wow.
40 seconds, and then releases, and then it goes on, and then it's like rolling.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It helps with like
Oh, that's
vasoconstriction,
rad.
vasodilation.
I did it after an altar workout, and I literally got up and I like jello legs.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, what is
Because
this?
it just like restricts all the blood, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to do it in college, like post after every workout. I didn't do pre-workout because I just was like, it's whatever. Or I'd do it like the night before a big race. We'd bring our Normatec boots on the road to
Mhm.
different meets, and so, yeah,
Fancy.
That's very cool.
yeah. So
That's amazing.
super excited.
So you had basically 2 weeks or 2 months of training, not actually running the full marathon, and you had your wisdom teeth pulled. So you had 8 days of basically nothing
Yeah.
prior to that. But that was more towards the beginning of the 2 months.
Yeah, and it was frustrating, like with my wisdom teeth, because like my Achilles was starting to finally feel good.
Mhm.
It was a journey, but it's fine.
So
But-
a week before you said it felt 100% going down to Atlanta.
Of the trials,
A week before the trials,
Yep.
going down to Atlanta, you're like,
Yep.
all right, finally my body's in the shape, or at least health-wise, is
Yeah.
in the spot where I want it to be. You might not have the miles,
Yeah.
but your body feels good.
I ran a pretty solid workout going into the trials as well. I just didn't feel like I had that, I don't know, like that pep in my step like I did before CIM in 2018 with that Olympic trials qualifier. But I just knew, I'm strong on hills. I have a strong quads, calves. I'm a strength runner, so like I can do this. I'll pull it off.
You have strength.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I wanted to finish like in the top 50. That's what my previous coach said. Like after I ran the qualifier, like when they found out it was going to be in Atlanta, it's really hilly, and I was super fit at that time. And I'm like, yeah, I think I could do top 50. And then as my injury kind of rolled around, I was like, all right, maybe just top half, maybe top 100. Going in, I just said, oh, let's try top 100. And then as it got closer, I was like, all right, top half is fine.
you kept lowering your expectations as you got closer to the race.
It just, I don't know. I just struggled. It was a struggle bus. But I got there and I just was like, you know what? Don't think of like what's against you. Just embrace this experience, just have fun. I had so many friends running it with me too. My family was there. They were super proud of me. People back home were like live streaming it. I had so much support. People back here and in Iowa, like it was insane the notifications I was getting that weekend. So I'm like, you know what, just embrace it. Think of the positives. Don't think of the negatives or what's against you or what you've had, or just think of what you've had to overcome. So I thought of like, all the years in college when I was super injured and how I came back from that. And that just kind of inspired me in the moment. But yeah, I got into Atlanta. This is right before the coronavirus hit. People were wearing masks on the plane. And I remember I was just like, what is this? Like, it's not hitting us. It's staying in China. So yeah, my boyfriend was like super, he was actually scared. I mean, he's more aware of COVID than I am right now, but he thought he had COVID like leading up to the trials, and he's like, he thought he was going to give it to me, and I'm like, no, it's fine. It's not in the US. Anyways. So I landed.
Technically, I think it was in the US by that time.
It was. But I for some reason in my head I just was like, it's not spreading rapid fire like it was in China.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't even remember what it was like back in February, to be honest.
The first case was like in Washington, and then I know that there was a few in Wisconsin at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Chicago.
New York.
People
York
were
for
just
sure.
super nervous because Atlanta's like an international hub.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. My mind was elsewhere.
Right.
Obviously,
Yeah.
on
Get
the
your
it should've
miles
been.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotta
as
get
it
your
should've
miles in.
Yeah.
Sick.
So,
The race.
The race. So yeah, it was super awesome. I felt like I was just going up into the race. Like I had an itinerary from hell, but it was good. So I'm a part of Oiselle and Generation UCAN. It's like a super starch that you can take, energy drink, not an energy drink, but basically it just releases carbs. It keeps your glycogen levels pretty stable throughout the entire duration of your workout, your race, whatever you're doing.
Would it be beneficial for us? Is this something we should get our hands on?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called
I have
again?
a discount. GenUCAN.
GenUCAN. And then what's your promo code?
I need to find it. I have a link. My mom's always...
Toppin 15?
It's probably... I think it's like AT or like A-top something. I don't know.
We'll get it to you.
It'll be in the show notes.
It'll be in the show notes. Don't worry.
I'm terrible at remembering it. My mom's always like, I want to get the watermelon hydrate. What's your promo code? I'm like, Mom, I'll just order you one. I don't know.
But it's good stuff, though.
Yes.
Okay.
It's awesome. Yeah. So I had events for that, events for Oiselle, like a photo shoot, a team photo shoot for that. And then they had like, bib. We had to check off so many things. So like uniform check off. Oh, and then there was the new, what are they called? The Nike Alpha Flies. Nike not sold, but basically gave all the qualifiers their new like racing shoe. I call them moon shoes. They were insane.
The ones with the balls in it?
Yep, and they're green.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The Nike Alpha Flies.
Marcus? Okay, sweet though. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I tried those out. I just got them because, like, why not? They're like $400 pair of shoes I get for free. So
Yeah.
I just took them. But I raced in my Nike 4%. But I remember I checked them in, like, in the uniform check, and the uniform people were just like, "Are you kidding me? You are going to strain your calf. Like, your calf is going to blow up." And I was like, "Oh, good, because I have Achilles issues, so that's awesome."
That's perfect.
So
it's
I
right
wore
up my alley.
My 4%. A lot of people,
Oh, whoa.
yeah,
They
so
are
that-
moon shoes.
you see the little like air part. One of my
Is that on the front or
Oiselle-
the back? The air part?
the front?
Front. Okay,
The
yeah, I see
toe.
that.
I think on mile 8 that deflated on her.
Oh. Like stepped on a nail
I
or
feel
something.
like it worked for a lot of people, but then it didn't work for a lot of people. I just didn't. I had never raced in them. I had never worked out in them. Like this would be.
You can't trust that.
Yeah, exactly.
The race you've been training for.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it worked for some people. This one guy went to the Olympics because of it. I wasn't gonna take the risk, so.
That's wild.
Yeah.
We both read Shoe Dog, which is Phil
Oh,
Knight's biography.
Yep.
And and the way that he was describing the shoes and how it enhanced the people's race times and just everything about the athlete was in the shoe. And the evolution of creating, like, seeing that version now and then reading Shoe Dog, it was just like, it's night and day difference of, but like back when Shoe Dog was when Phil Knight was creating the real Nike shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an evolution of like unprecedented.
Yeah.
The waffle shoe, like the waffle design
Yep.
underneath, that was
Yep.
like the first breakthrough Nike
Yeah.
technology.
Oh yeah.
But
That's
it's
crazy.
and then it's cool hearing it firsthand. Like, I read the story and hearing how it would just like affect people's races. But like Nike's still doing that. They're giving 400 racers that shoe to then enhance their times.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And there's still new designs in tennis shoes.
Well, and now like other shoe companies are coming out, like Saucony and Brooks came out with like a carbon plate shoe, just like Nike, like right around the trials, and Adidas just came out with one. I'm kind of curious about Adidas's one though, because it's something about, I need to look, I can't remember, but it's something about it supports the met heads, so the metatarsal heads in your foot.
Okay.
It's more of a natural flow with your foot versus like, I don't know. I think it just has more room for your toes, which I approve of. It's not just like squishing them all together, which the Alpha Flies, I just felt like my foot was like crammed in there, and then I was like striding on moon shoes. Like literally I went for a stride in them and I was like, holy cow, I am like flying, like just like bouncing. So,
Wow. That sounds so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. But I am a supporter of the Nike 4% and the Vaporflies. So I still got those. I sold my Alpha Flies. Like, I should have done it right after the trials, because some people were selling them for like $1,000. It was insane.
Wow.
I sold mine in like May. I don't know. I still sold them for like $400, so I didn't really care.
Dang.
So yeah.
The race.
Let's
Let's
do
it.
The race. Let's run it.
All right. So
Let's run it. Literally.
I ran the race with the girl I ran. Her name's Caitlin Keene. I ran with her at CIM, and we ran the whole thing, qualified together. She's kind of like my soul sister of racing. Like, she has a lot of high energy, and I'm pretty calm. So it's like I need more energy, and I kind of calm her down. So we're kind of like the dynamic duo. So I raced with her. I felt pretty solid. My fluids were going down well. My Achilles was behaving itself. The whole body was good. And then I got to half, and it just started kind of slipping away. I was like, this is where my training, this is where that 2-month, the consistency, the inconsistency of my training just like hit me. And then just kind of got in my head. And then, let me explain the course for you. First of all, it was literal hell. I think it was literally the hardest course, marathoning in the world. Like, the worst marathon course ever. So Atlanta is actually pretty hilly, turns out, which I knew that going in. But so there was 3 loops like around their downtown, starting at the CNN Center, going through Centennial Olympic Park. And then once you got past the 3 loops, then there was like a back like 5K loop. I didn't get to, so here's a spoiler alert, I dropped, but I mean, you guys know that because I have posted it everywhere.
Yeah.
But so I didn't get to that. I got to like lap 3, and then I dropped at mile 18. But anyways, so
Wow.
I think the first lap went pretty well. The back half of the first loop of every one of those loops was just kind of like, it was a tremendous gradual hill. So I think the second lap, when I was on like mile 14, 15, I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. When is this going to end? I was getting like, I felt like I was getting passed like by hundreds of women. I think we were like, I think I was anywhere from like between 100 and 200, and there's like 500 women racing.
Wow.
And I felt like I was like in 300th place, and I just was like, yeah, things are going south. And then my hamstring cramped up, and I felt like I was going to pull it. So I was scared about that. And then I started seeing stars, and I was like, I've never seen stars during a race before. This isn't good. So I got through onto the third lap. And my mom was like, you were not looking good. My coach was like, yeah, you were kind of like your form was breaking down. You were swerving a little bit. So yeah, it was kind of scary. And for like 3 miles, I was like, do I drop? Do we finish this thing? How is this going to look in the back half when it's just literally 10 times worse than it is now with hills and whatnot? Like one of my good friends from college who qualified, he said he just walked up those back hills. Like he stopped, stretched his hamstring, and like his wife was like, what are you doing? So I'm kind of glad I dropped. But it kind of like ate me up for a while because I have never really DNF'd a race. So and like 5,000 times. So once I dropped, I got past so there was like a Wazelle cheer zone, which was freaking amazing. I was going to drop there because I was like, okay, well, I have the support. They can just like take me back to the hotel. And I was like, no, I can't drop in front of them. So I waited until I saw like the Olympic trials officials jackets, and it was like mile 18. I was like, we doing this? We doing this? All of a sudden I just like dropped to the side. We did it. Like, that's what I thought in my head.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, are you okay? You can still finish the race. You've made it past like the time limit or whatever. Cause if you didn't get past like 16 miles or something and
they're scooping you up.
like, if you were like on 7-minute pace or like slower than that, they were going to scoop you up. I was running like 6 flats. It was ridiculous. Like
Wow.
I was on like, we were doing like 5. So usually my marathon pace is like 6 to 6:10, 6:12.
That's so fast.
I was on like
That's
PR
cooking.
pace. Like we were running like 5:50s. I think we dropped a 5:40, and I was like, Caitlin, what are we doing? This is hard course, and like just casually dropping like 5:35, 5:45, 5:50.
That is so
but
fast.
adrenaline just takes you, and you just hop on the ride and you just go.
And
I
all
don't
the
know.
other people are running.
Yeah.
They're putting up good times.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was an amazing, awesome time. Like at the beginning, like I just had goosebumps, I think, for like 5 miles. Like the crowd was insane. Like the spectators along the course, like just body to body. Like I never saw like an open spot. Like my boyfriend, he couldn't get in, but he saw me. But I think when he didn't see me go by, it was like when I dropped, but he didn't know that I dropped. He's not really a runner. He just kind of goes with what I tell him. So he doesn't know what's going on. He couldn't find me. And then the race was diverting anyways. And so he and his friend like rode the Ferris wheel in Centennial Olympic Park. And my mom's like, were you hoping to see her like from the top of the Ferris wheel? They're like, what? I don't know. Anyways. Sidebar.
Sounds like he's in trouble for that one.
No,
Sounds like that was a poor move.
It's his like personality. I don't like people. I've had runner boyfriends in the past, and like they either can be
They kind of run with you.
I mean, there's good ones. There are, but like I just don't like someone to push me too hard. My first boyfriend in college, it was just. I won't say a lot because, but
He stinks.
He stinks.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so
We digress.
Yeah, we digress. So
the race.
So the race. So I want to know when you're in that fight or flight situation.
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, do I keep going and try and finish this out and maybe pass out with all the known obstacles in front of me,
Yeah.
or do I drop and do something I've never done before?
Yeah.
What was that? I mean, the logic made sense. I totally think that
Yeah.
worked. But like, what was going through your head at that point? I mean, were you in fear of both scenarios, or how did it shake out?
My logic was, well, I knew going in I wasn't going to make the Olympic team. I would have been way more heartbroken if I like had contention of being like in the top 10 or like top 20.
So that's what it would take to be on the Olympic team then?
So top 3 is what makes it. But
Wow.
yeah, out of the freaking like
500 people.
500.
And it's all Americans running in this Olympic
Yes,
Olympic trial?
yes.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, there's like there's people from other countries that are converted, American citizens.
Sure,
but,
sure.
For the most part, it was really awesome though, as get into now, like Black Lives Matter now into our society today.
Mhm.
There was the, what's her name? Alphine. I'm going to butcher her last name. I'm not going to say it. Anyways, she used to run at Iowa State and then she transferred to Wichita State. So she's kind of like my teammate in a way. She won the Olympic trials first. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Anyways, it is awesome. She's a black woman. And then I think another Sally Chipiego, I can't say her name. She got third. And then Molly Seidel, originally from Wisconsin. I think Carly ran with her in high school. She, first marathon ever, got second, made the Olympic team.
What, like first time ever running a marathon?
Yeah, so she qualified with a half marathon qualifier. Because you can qualify with the half, you have to run like 73 and under.
Okay.
So that's an hour and 13 flat and under.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she qualified at the Houston half marathon the month before, and then she
ran a marathon for the first time and crushed it.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So your logic, though, into it.
Going into it originally, before I knew I was going to drop, obviously, was like, all right, I'll just try to finish in the top half, try to run as strong as I can. I'm here for the experience, yada, yada. But, like, at that moment, I was like, all right, do I chronically injure myself? But, like, it doesn't, like, if there's going to be a race to drop, that was the race to drop. Just because, like, it didn't really matter for me at that point. And I just knew I have a career in front of me that is, like, I'm just dipping into the beginning of the marathon. Like, I've only really successfully completed 2 marathons. And, like, my first marathon, I ran 2:52. My second one, I ran 2:42. So.
Wow.
Like, I know that there's a lot of growth for me, and I just think the trials, it was at a bad time in my life. Not that it was a bad time in my life, but I think the injury spoke for itself. That, like, I wasn't taking care of my body, I wasn't getting good sleep for months and months and months. I was chronically stressed from chiropractic school and just juggling that whole lifestyle, being elite marathoner, running 90 miles a week while also going to full-time chiropractic school and then starting clinic, and, like, juggling all of those worlds together, and focusing on my future, like, trying to get a job in Colorado, making sure that worked out well.
And this is all going through your head as you're on mile 18.
Race.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, mile 18.
In the race.
Oh,
yeah.
And your body's deteriorating.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I just was like, you know what? This isn't my day. This isn't my day. That's okay. I'm not going to let one race, define me. And that's what, numerous coaches throughout college have taught me. Throughout my whole life running, my high school coach, my senior year, one race does not define you. So yeah, I just kind of took that motto, and, I was kind of, like, confused for a while. I was like, did I really drop out? I took the high road. I enjoyed the rest of my weekend. I still went out and partied. I didn't care. I was like, you know what? I'm still going to celebrate this. This is
Party Dre, dude.
I was party Dre that night. I was out till like 4 a.m.
Wow.
4 a.m.
And you started the race at what time?
It started at 12 p.m.
Wow.
Actually.
That's just like a full day, man. Run a marathon. Freaking stay out till 4 a.m.
Party Dre. That's a great callback.
Party Dre, dude. Yeah.
I ended it. I was in, like, this underground, like, garage. Okay, it wasn't a garage, but it was, like, graffiti underground, like, bar. I don't even know where I was.
Nice.
I went to, like, this Wazelle party, which was pretty freaking awesome, and then I left and met up with friends. And then we Ubered to, like, this graffiti bar, skate park-esque. I don't even know what it was called. And yeah, I was frickin' Party Dre there, all over the dance floor.
That's sick.
And then ended it at Waffle House, and then I got back to
no
my
better way to do it in Atlanta.
Hotel room at 4 a.m. and I was like, great, gonna wake up at 9 and it's gonna be a good day.
There you go.
I had breakfast with my parents that morning. I was just like, oh my god, this is terrible. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was a great experience, regardless, and I think it puts a lot of fire under my butt for, qualifying for 2024. And this fall, I was supposed to be running the New York City Marathon in the professional field, and that's a huge deal. It's a world marathon major. And it's always been, well, it hasn't always been, but like since I qualified for the trials and was like, wow, I'm actually good at marathoning. I was like, I want to make it my goal to be in a world marathon major. So that's kind of like the next big step for me when we can race in big races, road racing again.
Right.
Otherwise, I think I'm just going to try to hop on a track race. But yeah, that process, it has to be like kind of a small track meet. Obviously, like just coaches are allowed and certain spectators, and you have to, as an athlete, to qualify for it. I mean, they look at your times, they look at your racing resume, and then you have to have like 2 negative COVID tests within a week of the race. I don't think I'll honestly race until the spring, early summer. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I met with my coach like 2 days ago, and we're just going to try to have a pretty consistent fall of just training. And it'll be nice.
It feels like this is a new coach.
This is a new coach, yes.
Yeah, you mentioned a previous coach
I'm sorry.
a few times, and I'm like, I don't want to. So you're no longer with the other coach.
No. So in the previous podcast with you guys, I was coached by Tyler German, and he runs professionally for Minnesota Distance Elite, which is a professional elite team here in the Twin Cities.
Gotcha.
In the Metro. And I went to college with him at Iowa State, one of my best friends, and he's married to my best friend Katie, and she's pretty. They're both awesome runners. Like Katie's pretty stellar.
Okay.
So yeah, now he mentioned, he's like, you should try to get on the team. And I was like, well, I'll be moving in a year. I don't know. And so I went on as a training partner for the Minnesota Distance Elite. So I trained a lot with them in 2019. 2020 life and clinic kind of got away from me. So I haven't been training with them a lot. I've been training kind of solo. But yeah, Chris Lundstrom is my
new coach,
and he's the head coach of the Minnesota Distance Elite. So
cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's
and he's
sweet.
awesome. He's super chill. He reminds me of my first college coach, Corey Immels. I just kind of like his training philosophy. So
Right on.
yeah.
So now, post Olympic trials, and then COVID happens basically right after that. Was that Graffiti Bar the last bar you've been in?
Yes. I mean, I've been to breweries, but
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
wait. I don't know. Oh, that's a lie. I went to Poorhouse Uptown, but that was like literally the weekend before COVID like exploded.
Gotcha.
That like week of the 17th or whatever, March.
Yeah, St. Patrick's
St.
Day.
That was our last bar, was freaking St. Patty's Day in Chicago.
Oh yeah. Carly went there too.
Yeah, so many people did.
Oh
But
yeah.
So with COVID and everything that has happened, your training and everything, I mean, are you still training and kind of looking to just remain consistent throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, so honestly, I just want to build a mega base, and it will be awesome because I'll be at altitude in Colorado.
Yep.
I've never trained like long term with altitude. I've only like trained a week. So pretty excited to see how that plays out for me with my, long duration of my running or long term running career. So yeah, I'm just really excited to see how fit I can get without stress being poured down my throat by Chiro School, because essentially Chiro School is done now. So
yeah, now it'll be more like feeling like you're at a job or working in a clinic, and then
I'll
running
be doing
on the
what
side.
I love. I don't have to have like assignments or exams.
Yeah,
and
that sounds amazing.
hopefully I pass my boards.
Fingers crossed.
And then you get to run all around Colorado, little northern Denver area. That'll be amazing.
Boulder.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah. I'm living between Denver and Boulder. I made sure to live by or within 10 minutes of a lot of different trails. That was kind of my
smart.
thing. Yeah, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, live in Denver because you're working in Denver," and I'm like, "No, if you're a runner, you don't live in Denver."
Nope. I think you made a good call at Broomfield.
Yeah.
I have not been to Broomfield in a long time. Back in the day, it was a little run down, but in recent days, pretty much ever since they legalized marijuana, every suburb and part of Denver has just exploded.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just kind of driven by it, through it, around it. I don't know.
You've scoped it out.
Scoped it
I
out.
still see mountains. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
There you
seems
go.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna get your ski
I
pass?
think I should.
Have you ever skied before?
Okay, so because of running in college, like
Yeah, you
I
probably
had a-
wouldn't run or ski as much.
yeah, yeah, I know this girl. She said she's gonna get me like a free one. I don't know where she works, but anyways, that's in the works if
There you go.
that's allowed. I haven't skied since I was like 12, so yeah, might be
Hey, you know.
a bit
You'll
of a
figure it out.
relearning experience.
You'll find your
but
way.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I guess it's more of a hobby. You keep it around. You know,
Yeah.
go a couple times while you're out there.
yeah,
It's the best ever.
yeah.
You'll love it. But that's crazy. So you're kind of just looking to remain consistent, without having any races and stuff right now. Is it hard to stay motivated while you run?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's kind of explained all of my 2020 since the trials.
Really?
So after the trials, I was so motivated. I was like, yeah, I'm going to try to get to the professional field of like either New York or Chicago. I'll have a killer fall marathon. I want to try to get the A standard. I just wanted to, and then I was going to do the Pittsburgh half, which was in May. I was like, I'm 100% healthy now. I'm feeling good. The body's feeling good. Like, I feel like I can really conquer the rest of this year. And then all these races started getting canceled. I was pulled out of clinic, which was kind of demotivating for my, professional side of life.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of sitting at home, and I was like, what do I do? The weather was gloomy. And then, I don't know, I couldn't breathe on my runs. It was just weird. I just felt like I was on sympathetic overload. And I just didn't like running. I was like, running's not making me feel good anymore. Why am I doing this? And so, I don't know, I talked with my coach, and we just kind of like did some like lower mid to low mileage, and I just kind of went with the flow, but I kept skipping workouts because I wasn't feeling good. And the love for running wasn't there, just wasn't motivated, and I was just weirdly stressed. I don't know why. I mean, COVID's brought a lot of stress and anxiety on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just kind of like, I didn't realize it was affecting me until it was affecting me. And then, ever since like May, then I started, I was freaking out because I was like, all right, I can't go visit these clinics because I can't fly because COVID's, everyone will look at me in a bad fashion.
Yeah, there was a time period where like if you traveled during this time, you were like,
Yeah.
what the F are you doing?
Yeah. Well, and I would even say that to people in my head, like, why the hell are you doing that? But Colorado, a lot of the clinics, a lot of the chiropractic clinics were shut down for 2 months, so I couldn't even like go out and shadow. And so I was like, okay, well, so I didn't really contact these chiros until like May. That clinic Wellset contacted me in end of April. So I kind of was like, wow, is Colorado even going to happen? And then I just started to get depressed and down. And then I contacted all these clinics, heard back from all of them, and was like, all right, I'm back up and running. But then it's just like I was so busy. I was so focused on that. And I just was like, I'm going to put running on the back burner. I averaged like 30 miles a week for like 6 weeks, and I was supposed to be doing like 70, but I just was like, I don't have time for this, and I don't know, it wasn't going well for me, and so I just put it on the back burner. And there's the racing. I didn't think racing motivated me as much as it did until this year. Like, I thought I was just, I just love to run just to run, but evidently not this year. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So once I got my life figured out, and then once I got back from Colorado, like, I was like, all right, I have to study for 3 board exams that are within 8 days of each other in 2 weeks. And so I was just like, I emailed my coach, and I was like, or texted him and emailed him, and I was like, I'm sorry, and he has his PhD in like exercise science and physiology. He
gets
teaches
it.
at the U of M.
Yeah.
So like, he gets it. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I've basically butchered this summer's training. So I explained my situation. And so I took like 2 full weeks off. and then just kind of gradually built into it in July. So yeah, I'm back to like 55, 60 miles a week, and then we'll just keep building. My sweet spot is like 80 or like 75 to 85. So we'll see what.
And that's over 10 a day,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, or you double, 2
Yeah.
runs and I'm more of a let's just get her done. Let's
So you
just-
double a lot or no?
No, I'm more of like let's just do like a 12 miler and get it done.
So what's your routine? Is it a morning run, afternoon? What times are you typically running right now?
That's another thing. I've not been consistent at all, but usually I like to morning run just so I can get it out of the way and you just feel so much more accomplished like
Mm-hmm.
throughout the day. Just ready to take on the day. But yeah, I've been really rocking afternoon runs, which when it was super hot this summer, it's supposed to get hot again, I think this weekend. That didn't really work in my favor. So
Yeah. That's what I was having to do in Arizona. Like
Oh,
there's
God.
literally no chance I was going to be running in 113 degree weather. So I'd wake up at
It's
5
insane.
yeah,
and I'd run
yeah.
for like an hour and see how
Yeah.
far I can go.
I mean,
So that's what I was asking. Like if you're running these 10 to 15 miles in the morning, like that's what I guess that's only an hour and a half for you, right? Somewhere around
I'm
that's
slow
not-
right now,
Yeah,
but
but still that's like
yeah, back in
that's
the
hauling.
Yep.
Do you
yeah.
listen to music?
I have been recently. I've been putting my old AirPods in. But yeah, I feel like I'm more successful when I don't. I feel like I just connect better. It's more of a stress release, a stress reliever when I'm not listening to music because I just listen to my thoughts and just decompress. But I think that's my other issue this year. I'm just like, I'm just really bored and not motivated. I need music. And so I put music in or listen to a podcast and I just feel so like disconnected and just like even more stressed. I'm like, why is my heart rate so like freakishly high or like why is my breathing off? So
Sure.
I go back and forth. Like even when I had really good training and I loved running, like I would take my music with me for like workouts. I'd be like, all right, easy runs, moderate to easy runs. We're just not going to listen to music today. We're just going to listen to your breath and just kind of decompress, listen to your thoughts. And but like for workouts, if I was doing a solo workout, bring my music and it'd be fine. Or
Yeah.
a super long run. But
What's a super long run?
like 20, I would say in my head 18 to 20.
Okay. How do you like plot that out too? Do you like Google
Yeah.
Maps it and stuff to get your miles, or how
It's just kind of like learning the area. So I usually go with someone. If I'm coming to like a new area, I usually run with them, and if I have someone that knows the area. But yeah, it's a lot of Google. If I'm running solo, it's just kind of like finding the main roads or like seeing if they have what they have for trails and how far they go out, researching on the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, Google Mapsing, or I have Strava, and so I just
Strava.
look at different segments. Yeah, there's different trail apps as well, so I just kind of look at those.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of frustrating, or stressful. But
Yeah. Strava's sweet. I like
yeah,
Strava
it
a lot.
is.
I used it once for that half marathon that I did.
Yeah, to log it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. I was like, I think running it. So I live in like my job is in like a really nice suburb of Tucson. It's called
Yep.
Dove Mountain, and it's on a mountain. There's like a Ritz-Carlton at the very top of the mountain, and that was 6 point something miles away. And then there was a trail coming back, so I could do a full loop. So that's kind of how I did my math on it. But oh my gosh, the hills and stuff that I had to run up,
Yeah.
and then I made a mistake and I ran back through a golf course. So all the hills were like up and down, left and right, and I just gassed myself. Like
Yeah.
I was so out of it by 11 miles. And I was just frustrated.
That's usually like in a half. I feel that too, though. It's like you get to like mile 10, 11, and you're like, good God, we've got over 2 miles left.
Yeah, like I was getting like visibly frustrated.
You're so close.
I was so mad because I knew where I needed to turn to
Yeah.
like get to my next milestone, and it just would never show up, and I would just get so mad.
Yeah.
it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But like it's so funny because at the beginning of this run, like like positive energy, like, oh, this ain't too bad. It's mile 6, 7, 8. Like, you're cooking,
Feeling good.
feeling great, and then that wall comes, and you just like have this slew of negative thoughts, and you start to recognize how freaking tired your calves are, or whatever it is. It's like, I just really praise you guys and runners, and especially you, for doing what you do, especially with everything in chiropractic school and everything. Like, that's a lot to handle, and it's very impressive that you can just bang it out and not think twice about it.
Yeah. I'm just working back to getting back to like the girl that I was like a year ago, or a year and a half ago.
'Cause she's there.
She's there.
Yeah.
I think I just needed a little bit of a break. So.
Well, I love that we're catching you in this transition time too, from ending school, getting done with that huge Olympic trials that was taking up all of your training thoughts.
Yep.
And now we're sitting in this time frame where you're like, what is next? Is running this main focus? Yes, but I'm going to give it some time. Now you get to go hands-on with after practicing and learning chiropractic, whatever, for the last 3 years. It's awesome. And we got to document it we got to catch up from last February until now and document it. And I think that's the coolest thing. And our Backpocket community loves you, Andrea. That's why you were Backpocket Guest of the Year in 2019. So this has been awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for the couch. The couch is sick.
Oh yes.
It's so
It has a
amazing.
marvelous home.
Yeah, we're so glad to have it. I mean, it's literally so much more comfier than the other one, like sitting in it now.
Mm-hmm.
And how we got it up
like
here was
bouncy.
ridiculous. Like, absolutely
Oh,
ridiculous. I put it all
my.
together last night and this morning, and I was just like, I can't believe we actually pulled this off. Like, we bullied it up the wall. We damaged that wall bad.
Bad. We'll have to patch that up.
That's going to be a tough one. But
Yeah, when you were like, okay, we're going to have to literally break this in half and just fold it up and get it up there, I'm like, what? Don't tell my mom.
I've always thought about it. Ever since we couldn't get the other couch up, I was like, there's a way we can do this. It just needs to fold a little bit. So that's why I tried taking a bunch of...
Became a C.
Pretty much, because what happened was, it wasn't that we really broke anything and it folded in like I said. It was just, once I took a bunch of the pieces off, it was able to like twist. So as like Matt has one area that he's like pulling up, I'm still like bent around the corner trying to push it up there for him. And then Matt Christian's obviously the strongest man alive, so that helped a lot.
And he just power cleaned just straight up the stairs.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, what is his title again?
Chief Moving Officer.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a Chief Moving Officer has arrived.
Yeah.
All right, what do you need?
CMO. Yeah, we're like, what do you need? What do you need to move? Over there? You know, didn't matter. But so you're leaving in 7 days for Colorado. Out there for how long, you think?
Like, I don't know, for a while.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. I just want to know, because I'll be
long
rolling through
term?
there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see
I don't
what
know.
time I'll see you next.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm coming back in September. Well, I'm coming back at the end of August for a wedding, and then September, like, 12th through the 14th.
Okay.
Will you be...
No, I have no idea when I'll be back after this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't it internship or what?
They just sent me out to finish a project out there.
Okay.
So whenever that project's done, which it was supposed to be end of August, it was supposed to be end of September, and then, you know, the construction just takes forever. So it's, you know, COVID and everything screws you in different ways. So I really don't know when I'm going to be back.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I'm going to take a vacation again either, because at this point it's just like...
Jackie's taking so many vacations.
Yeah,
He's got a log of sevens.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not allowed to take any more vacation after this, pretty much, because I've not done a great enough job of helping on site and supporting these two poor people that have been there for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm basically not setting another vacation, because I want to just show up, get this thing done, leave a good legacy, and then move on to the next project, wherever that may be. Because with COVID, I mean, different situation for you, obviously, but like it impacts every industry. I mean, no investor, no company is like, oh yeah, this is the perfect time to build a building.
Yeah.
So that's the industry I'm in. We'll see what happens. But hope I can see you soon, though.
I know.
I'll roll through Colorado probably
Yeah.
September, October.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe November, December.
Give
of
me a
those.
call.
Yeah, absolutely.
End of the
be
year.
End of the year.
You'll
End of
be
the year.
there.
By the end of the
Yeah.
year, I will be in Colorado at some point.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You can catch me there, and then I'll hopefully maybe catch you here in the future.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll
You'll-
catch you here.
Yes, absolutely.
sure.
We're bummed that you won't be at Bochella tomorrow.
I know.
You were pivotal for
I
the first go
know.
around.
Throwing that massive pregame. That was
Oh,
amazing.
God.
You and Mark.
The Kairos.
The Kairos
The
balled out.
Kairos.
And I hope the Kairos ball out tomorrow, too.
They were the first
Wow.
ones to buy the group sale
the group sale, yeah?
back in July or June when we put that out.
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
God.
Well, I know you have to be somewhere in at 1 o'clock. It's 12:50 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
all
swing
right.
on through.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, you're the best. I love you.
I love you guys. I'm going to miss you.
Hey, at least we'll have the chairs, though.
Yes, and the couch.
And the couch now.
The gang is all here. You got the trifecta.
Oh,
100% the full set. But yeah, thanks for coming over.
Yeah,
Seriously.
thanks for having me. This has been awesome.
that's a wrap.
Sweet. Let's go. We did it.
We did it.
Beautiful.
Oh.